Garnet Paul Thompson Spears was born on December 3rd, 2008, and spent the first 9 weeks of his life in and out of the hospital. According to his mother, Lacey Spears, he suffered from severe ear infections and not eating. She alleged that he would projectile vomit anytime he ate and was rapidly losing weight. It was during this time that doctors diagnosed him with failure to thrive, but could not figure out why he could not hold down any food. Garnett's team decided to do a procedure to help reduce acid reflux, and once he had recovered from his surgery, he was sent home, but still would not eat. A week later, he was admitted to the hospital for severe dehydration. His lab showed that his sodium level was abnormally high for an infant at 180, when normal levels should be at around 140. Doctors were able to eventually stabilize Garnett's sodium levels, but could not find the cause as to why they spiked, and he was sent home. Spears continued to claim that she could not get Garnett to eat, and she decided to take him to more doctors. At this point, doctors were still at a loss as to the cause of him not eating, so they decided to insert a feeding tube to help him get his caloric needs. And by the age of 1, Garnett had been hospitalized 23 times for his issues with eating. Spears eventually moved to New York with Garnett and continued to take him to different doctors. Garner began seeing pediatric gastroenterologist Dr. Ivan Darankov. Darankov thought that it was unusual that Garnett's G-tube had been in place for over 4 years. He recommended to do simple nutritional evaluations to see if the G-tube was necessary, but Spears would neither say yes or no to them, and the G-tube stayed in place. In January 2014, Garnett began experiencing extreme headaches, stomach aches, and fevers. Garnett was eventually admitted to Nyack Hospital for seizure-like symptoms. He was placed on continuous video monitoring EEG to capture his events with the consent of Spears. Garnett's condition improved in the hospital, and Spears never left his side. 2 days later, Garnett rapidly declined, and a code blue was called because he had stopped breathing. Labs showed that his sodium levels had spiked from 138 at admission to 182. He was transferred to Westchester Medical Center, but was pronounced brain dead 24 hours later. Doctors believed that someone was intentionally poisoning him with salt, and suspicion immediately fell upon Spears. Garnett's death was ruled a homicide, and Spears was arrested 5 months later. During the trial, prosecution argued that Spears intentionally poisoned Garnett for attention. The most damning evidence was the video EEG footage showing Spears prepping something to put into Garnett's G-tube. Garnett was eventually found guilty of second-degree murder and first-degree manslaughter and was sentenced to 20 years to life in prison. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments, and I'll see you next time.